What is up, guys? Happy Saturday night. We are going live here October 29th. We have week 8 ahead of us. We're going to just basically be hanging out for the next half an hour or so, going over all of the news and the headlines from today. There's not too many things out there, but then we'll answer your questions from the chat room as well. So let me just kind of hop into a screen share here. And let's actually take a look at let's see here. I want to look at Malik Willis. He's getting the start for Ryan Tannehill, he's got an injured ankle, and then apparently he's sick. So Malik Willis getting his first career start this weekend, kind of fun. He's more of a super flex option if you need it. David Njoku officially ruled out. Otherwise, not too much news today. I think it was all pretty status quo for the most part here. So if you guys have questions, fire them up in the chat room. Good evening to Harris. Hope you guys are all doing well. We could even, if we wanted to, maybe I can pop over to DraftKings and we can kind of play around with some of the lineups and things like that. I haven't played DraftKings in a while. Good evening to Jason. Hope you're doing well, my man. The big news of the day was Malik Willis. I think if you're playing DraftKings or FanDuel or anything like that, he's interesting. I don't know if I love him, though. He's probably not the best play of the day, I would say. But otherwise, I'm trying to look around. I mean, Njoku officially ruled out, so Harrison Bryant's getting the start. This one's interesting. Brandon Cooks could be headed back to the Rams. We know the Rams were in on Christian McCaffrey, and now they're potentially in on Brandon Cooks coming back. Am I crazy for starting Saquon, Pollard, and Mostert and sit JT? I mean, the matchup for Raheem Mostert this week is as good as it's going to get. So I honestly, I don't blame you for wanting to roll with Raheem. And then with Tony Pollard, it's kind of like the perfect storm there as well. Like, how many times are we going to get a game where no Ezekiel Elliott? So technically, I mean, I'm starting Barkley, I'm starting Tony Pollard, and I think the questionable one is probably Jonathan Taylor, with Mostert. But Sam Ellinger, do we trust him? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm thinking you're sitting Jonathan Taylor and you're okay with it. St. Brown or Cortland Sutton, non-PPR. Because it's non-PPR, that means I kind of want to go with Sutton, and I know Russell Wilson's back. I think you probably go with Amon-Ra because he has the higher floor. I think he's going to probably get peppered with 6-7 targets. So I'm going to say Amon-Ra is the safe play. If you're feeling risky and you can afford some risk, I would go with Sutton, Renfro, or DPJ. Donovan Peoples-Jones has been playing pretty well the last month or so. I think he's got 4 games where he's been putting up some decent numbers. Let's open that up on ESPN. So personally, I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think he's been a player that has been on my radar at least for the last month or so. Let's look at that together. Peoples. So DPJ, again, his last 4 games, basically he hit 70 yards in 3 out of the 4. He's had 50 in all 4 games here. And with David Njoku out, I think this is going to push me towards getting him in the lineup. I mean, look at the receptions, 5, 4, 4, and 6. If you tell me you're going to lock in four catches for 50 to 70 yards, I'd say sign me up. So I feel good about DPJ. Henderson or Herbert? Whew, that one's tough. That one is tough. Let me actually let's go look at the matchups. It's a really tough matchup for the Bears going up against the Cowboys, whereas Henderson, and I know he's playing the 49ers, it's still a tough matchup, but we're talking about 2 pretty bad matchups. The 49ers actually don't allow a lot of rushing yards at all. They allow more receptions. So it's kind of equally bad. I think you got to start the starting back. It's Darrell Henderson, I think. Even though I think Herbert could be impressive, and there's talks about him getting more work going forward. But I'm going to lean with Henderson. Tony Pollard or Dameon Pierce, half PPR. Let's see. The Chicago Bears run defense, not very good, man. They've allowed almost 800 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns on the ground, and 1 through the air. So 7, like basically giving up a touchdown per game. I know Dameon Pierce has been really, really good for us, but the Titans defense kind of stingier towards backs. They allow about 21, and this is half PPR, so they allow about 18.4 points to the running back, where the Chicago Bears allow 22.8. So technically, I think you got to take advantage of the Ezekiel Elliott doubtfulness. So I'm going to say Tony Pollard. And for the most part, I mean, I think Tony Pollard's a top 10 back pretty much anywhere you see him. So yeah, big Tony Pollard. Big Tony Pollard week coming up for us. Ronald Jones asked for his release. Interesting. Wow. Nathaniel Hackett could be fired maybe if they don't win this game. That'd be a 2-5 start. So I mean, I guess that's pretty much all you need to see. All this talent on that team, and they're not getting it right. That might actually not be a bad move if they lose this game. Kareem Hunt available for a 4th-round pick. That's pretty crazy. Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. I think you got to go with Jalen Hurts this week. The Packers, surprisingly, really stingy against quarterbacks. They only allow about 11.9 points per game to the quarterback position. They haven't played a lot of great quarterbacks, so I would expect Josh Allen to do well. But you look at the Steelers, and they're giving up a healthy amount of points here to the quarterback position. They're awful in the passing game, and they really haven't played any rushing quarterbacks yet. So you factor in a soft passing matchup for Hurts and his rushing ability. I think I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts in this one. Amari Cooper or Tyler Boyd, PPR. I mean, Tyler Boyd's going to be a juicy PPR play the rest of the season. But with Amari Cooper, with no David Njoku, I kind of want to lean into Amari Cooper going up against the Bengals. The Bengals do have a decent passing game against the wide receiver, so I'm kind of hesitant there. Whereas, let's see here, the Browns, it's a tough matchup here for both guys. I think I'm going to lean with Cooper just because he's the number one on that team. So, I mean, I like Cooper. I like DPJ. I'm thinking that's the Bengals are going to score points, right? So we expect the Cleveland Browns to have to score. And I mean, with the Bengals, we know Higgins is the alpha. So Boyd's the number 2. I think Cooper's the alpha. I think you roll with him. This one's easy. Deonta Foreman, no question. Deonta Foreman's probably a top 10, top 12 back tomorrow. If you guys are playing DFS, get Deonta Foreman in your lineups. No Chuba Hubbard tomorrow. The Falcons are better. They're better against the running back than they are the other positions, but it's still the Falcons defense, man. We want to target that. Amari Cooper or DJ Moore, non-PPR. I trust Amari Cooper more than I trust DJ Moore right now. It's a really good matchup for DJ Moore. Like, the Falcons are allowing the most points to the wide receiver position. So if you are feeling good and feel like we've kind of, rebounded after last week, on paper, technically DJ Moore is the better matchup. But in non-PPR, I'd like to ask myself who's more likely to catch a touchdown, and I think it's Amari Cooper. So I will say Amari Cooper has a better chance in non-PPR. Let me see what other news and notes we can find here. Jeff Wilson on the trade block. Hunter Renfrow removed from his injured designation. And pretty much this is all stuff from yesterday, so nothing too new. So we're pretty much caught up on the news. Raheem Mostert to Kenneth Walker, half PPR. I'm going to stick with Raheem Mostert. He's got the easiest matchup pretty much of the week here. Again, you want to lean into matchups this time of year. The Lions, man, they just allow too many points to the running back. So I feel pretty good about Raheem. They've allowed 10 rushing touchdowns. Raheem Mostert probably has like a 90% chance of scoring tomorrow, I would say. So I like Kenneth Walker a lot, but his matchup against the Giants are pretty stingy here. They're actually more leaky to passing down back. So they do allow a lot of yards, but I think Raheem Mostert's your guy. Jamal or B-Rob. I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. The Colts, they're allowing the 21st most points here to the running back position. So, I mean, they're going to allow yards. And if someone scores on that team, I think it's going to be Brian Robinson at the goal line. Whereas Jamal Williams, he's got DeAndre Swift back, so I don't really love his ceiling as much in this one. Where Brian Robinson, I can see him getting to 15 to 20 touches and the goal line touchdown there. So I think he's a better play. I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. Jerry Jeudy or Lamb, half PPR. It's a tough matchup for it's a tough matchup for CeeDee Lamb. Technically, the Chicago Bears Pretty stingy against opponent wide receivers so far this year. And it is half PPR, but if there's one receiver to start on that team, it's CeeDee Lamb. I think I trust CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott more than I do Jerry Jeudy. So I'm going to say CeeDee Lamb. It's one of the simple situations where you don't sit your stud. You roll with CeeDee Lamb here. Taysom or TJ Hawkinson? It's the Raiders. So, like, I mean, you see the Raiders are up here in total points per game allowed. Like, they're one of the worst defenses in the league. So, I mean, with no Michael Thomas, no Jarvis Landry, I would like to think Taysom Hill's probably the play here. The Dolphins do allow a lot of fantasy points still, but a lot of that's coming from that Baltimore Ravens game you remember back in week 2. So I'm going to say I trust Taysom Hill to be involved in the offense. And if basically you're going to risk it, you're going to get a 2 or a 3 point game, or you're going to get, the 10, with the extra for the touchdown. So I think Taysom Hill's the better play. Yep. Patriots D or 49ers. They're both good. They're both pretty good plays this week. The Rams coming off a bye though, getting healthier. And the last time we saw the 49ers, it didn't look very good against the Chiefs or the Falcons. I'm going to say Patriots defense, even though they didn't look very good last week either. I'll say Patriots defense. And I wanted to just look up a couple other things. We're probably going to keep it short tonight, guys. I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. I will be doing a live show tomorrow, though, still 10:30 a.m. Central Time, so we'll go live 90 minutes before kickoff. But any final questions you guys got? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a little bit early. And I'm trying to think. There's pretty much no news today for the most part. I think everything was status quo. But yeah, the Ryan Tannehill news was probably the biggest news of the day here. I'm just looking around here. Travis Homer coming back for the Seahawks. TJ Watt, he's not eligible to play Sunday, but he's coming back soon. So big news for the Steelers. Let's take a look and see what else we can dig up here. Yeah, Malik Willis officially starting. That was pretty much the only thing that happened today. So it was a pretty interesting low day. They're officially calling Ezekiel Elliott doubtful. So it's Tony Pollard day. Hopefully we can see something. And it sounds like the Jamar Chase injury isn't too bad. The fact that they didn't put him on they didn't put him on IR, which is very good news, because if he's on IR, that means he's missing 4 weeks. So they potentially think that he could beat the 4-week timetable, which is pretty important. Pick one, Foreman or Jalen Hurts. I have in there right now. Josh Allen. What? Pick one, Foreman or Jalen Hurts. I have in there right now. Josh Allen and Michael Carter have PPR. Foreman or Jalen Hurts. Is this for Superflex? I'm confused. Josh Allen and Michael Carter. I mean, you want to play Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen, or you want to play Deonta Foreman over Michael Carter? I do like Josh Allen, but again, the Packers in terms of fantasy points allowed, man, it's not. They're pretty stingy in allowing fantasy points. Oh, for DFS, you want Deonta Foreman at running back. You don't want Michael Carter. I'm cool with Josh Allen, but you definitely want Foreman more than you want Hurts. So I'll say Foreman and Josh Allen is fine if that's what we're doing. Does that mean Josh Allen is more expensive than Jalen Hurts? Or maybe Foreman is just more expensive. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's going to do it for me tonight. We'll see you guys live tomorrow morning. Again, I'll go live 90 minutes before kickoff, so I apologize for the quick show tonight. I don't really have quite the lungs and things for it right now. But again, good luck on your DFS lineups. Good luck on everything. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night. Peace.